Neymar to return to Barça, Lewandowski scoops award, the all-time Ballon d'Or 11 is revealed, Bale contemplates Real return, and a transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Froelich, you are the OneFootballers, and this is the Daily News. And no, before you ask, Neymar is not going back to Barcelona. You have not been clickbaited. I'm talking about the return of the Brazilian playmaker because PSG have drawn Barcelona in the Champions League. What a tie. The round of 16 often throws up some little less than interesting ties, and no offence to like some Manchester City and Gladbach, I think that one's pretty much in Manchester City's favour. The same thing with Bayern Munich against Lazio, although I'm sure Lazio will think that they have a chance. But PSG Barca, brilliant. Absolutely amazing. What a draw. This is what the Champions League is about. And Neymar will come face to face with Messi, with his former employees, and apparently the employees that he no longer wants to be a part of. Ever since he left the Nou Camp, it's how he wants to return. He's sending text messages to the WhatsApp groups. He wants to go back, then he doesn't want to go back, then he wants to sign the extension at PSG. Nobody knows what's going on. But what we do know and what we do hope for is that Neymar, after his recent injury, is back and he is fit and he is ready to play against Barcelona. This could also be a good chance for PSG to get a good look at Lionel Messi. It's very tentative rumours at the moment, but apparently if Messi isn't happy and the offer from Manchester City doesn't come in, he could reunite with Neymar, like Neymar was saying, for next season at PSG. We spoke about it before, and it would be, like my favourite saying goes, utterly ridiculous. A front three of Mbappe, Neymar and Messi, would just be absolutely insane. Anyway, as for the Champions League, I think PSG are going to edge it. I don't think it's going to be a clear winner. I'd love to see a repeat of that 6-1 that Neymar was so handy in a few years ago, which saw Barcelona turn it around in one of the greatest comebacks in Champions League history. But I think it's going to be just a little bit closer than that. Another game in the Champions League draw that I'm really looking forward to as well is Atalanta against Real Madrid. Obviously, yesterday we spoke about Papu Gomez and the fact that he wants to leave the club and he may never play for Atalanta again. It doesn't look like he's going to be involved, but even so, Atalanta are such a great attacking force, and with Real Madrid not necessarily them former selves, this could be a rather interesting tie. Elsewhere yesterday, and of course, as well as the Champions League, the Europa League was drawn as well, and things do not get better for Manchester United. They drew La Liga leaders Real Sociedad and, of course, former Manchester City midfielder David Silva, who still looks like an unbelievable player aged 35. Surely he's got one last ride in him to go ahead and to beat Manchester United. At the moment, you'd probably put your eggs in the Real Sociedad basket and think they're going to win. Having said that, same with the Champions League ties as well. These games take place in 2 months. Like, they start middle to the end of February. A lot of things can happen. That's the other side of the transfer window. That's 2 months worth of form. There could be injuries. There could be new managers. There could be all sorts happening. So we can't really say exactly what is going to be happening just yet. Although as Manchester United, things are looking pretty tough for Arsenal as they drew Benfica. So moving on, and to Robert Lewandowski, who picked up the Tuttosport Golden Player of the Year award. It's kind of the Italian version of French football's Ballon d'Or, and he has won it. Deservedly so. Now, there's been so much talk about the awards this time of year because it is the time of year when all the award ceremonies happen, including FIFA's The Best. What a genius name that is. Anyway, the results for that award ceremony will be announced this Thursday, and Robert Lewandowski is again in the running against the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. Somehow, those two are still going for it. Messi, I'm not entirely sure he's been up there. Like, he's been very, very good for Barcelona, but in terms of the heights of A, his previous years and the standards he set, and B, the standards that the likes of Lewandowski and others have set, I'm not sure him or even Ronaldo are there. And yes, you're going to point to the fact that a 35-year-old, 34, whatever Ronaldo is, scored 31 goals in Serie A. I'm just not buying it. Anyway, aside from this, Lewandowski, as we mentioned, did pick up the Golden Award for the best player of the year. And it just couldn't be anyone else. I mean, along with this, Hansi Flick also surely has got to be a shoo-in for European Manager of the Year. I mean, Bayern Munich won absolutely everything and Lewandowski was top goal scorer in it all. The worst part of this, though, and actually this is moving on to the next story, is there has been a Ballon d'Or release of the best 11 ever. You want to know why I said the worst part? Well, 2 reasons. First off, because Ballon d'Or clearly, French football, who give out the Ballon d'Or, clearly jumped the gun in cancelling their award for this year. They cancelled it like 4 or 5 months back. And now everyone's realised, oh, wait a minute, you could just give out the awards over Zoom, over Skype, or just send the award to someone's house. Like, I really feel like they jumped the gun on this one. So not only have they done that, they've also got an agent award, which has been given to Mino Raiola. Not only is this glorifying one of the worst jobs, most hated jobs in football, not the worst, you make a lot of money, most hated jobs in football, you then give it to a guy who's clearly not interested in the welfare of his players at the club in terms of a footballing perspective, but just wants to make them and himself loads of money. It's just everything to do with the wrong part of the game, and they've awarded Raiola for it. Anyway, back to the 11 of all time. Guys, this was always going to boil some piss. There are so many good players from the last however many years. I think the oldest player in this team was Lev Yashin, who played in the 50s and 60s, and I think into the early 70s. This was always going to annoy people. So Lev Yashin's in the team. They've gone for a 3-4-3. By the way, this is voted for by 140 journalists. The best team of all time. The three defenders, Cafu. Yeah, I can get behind that. In centre-back, there was Paolo Maldini on the other side, and in the middle was Franz Beckenbauer. Okay, that's a pretty solid defence. Yes, you could talk about Sergio Ramos being in there. Baresi, there's a whole host of other players. Moving into the midfield, they've crammed in loads of attacking players, even though they don't really fit into a midfield four. Anyway, it's Pele, Xavi, Lothar Matthäus, and Maradona, with Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Ronaldo up front. Brazilian Ronaldo, that is. That's obviously a good team, and obviously everyone's going to disagree, but that's just football. There is no way that anyone could comprehensively agree on an 11 of the best of all time. They obviously realise this as well because they released a second and a third team, which you can find on their website too. It involves all the other big names like Johan Cruyff, Andres Iniesta, like we said, Sergio Ramos, all the ones that the original 11 has missed out on. The problem with this is that when you get journalists voting, everyone's kind of biased to their own era. I'd probably vote for someone who I watched growing up during my era, who I thought was the best player ever, someone like Ronaldinho or Zinedine Zidane. Someone older than me votes for someone like Maradona. Someone older than them votes for someone like Pele. That's just the way it goes. What I'm saying is, absolutely everybody get in the comment section and give us your own thought and completely ignore other people's opinions, because that's what you do on YouTube. Okay, next up then, moving on from the Ballon d'Or 11 award and to Gareth Bale. Actually some transfer news, and apparently he's considering returning to Real Madrid for one last swan song next season because Zinedine Zidane might not be there. This seems a little bit too hopeful from Gareth Bale. I mean, not only is Zinedine Zidane turning it around after coming under a bit of pressure, he saw his team to the top of the Champions League group qualifying and then went ahead and beat Atletico Madrid in the Madrid derby. Zidane is not finished just yet. So the fact that apparently Gareth Bale was thinking about this shows that he really didn't get along with the French manager, as we pretty much already knew, and that he's hoping he'll leave and he can return to Madrid. Having said that, looking at his form at Tottenham this season, I'm not sure that's going to be worth it. Like, yes, it was amazing for Spurs fans that Gareth Bale came back to the club, but he just cannot get fit. Has started one Premier League game, and it doesn't exactly look that if you were Real Madrid and you were looking at how well Gareth Bale did on loan, do you think, yeah, you know what, we'll bring, by then he's going to be 32, we'll bring a 32-year-old Gareth Bale back into the team, ahead of the likes of Hazard, even though he's out of form, Rodrigo, Vinicius. They'll probably have a few players back from loan, like Kubo as well. You've obviously got Odegaard in there, although not necessarily the same position. I'm not so sure whether it'd be worth Bale returning to Real Madrid. If he's going to sit on the bench, he may well just continue at Tottenham. Of course, this is his last year at Real. Well, next year will be his last year, and his contract will run out after that. You can't see him signing a new one, so we could potentially see Gareth Bale on a free transfer if he doesn't decide to stay in North London. So lastly then, we come to a quick roundup of the rest of the day's news that you might have missed. And Juventus president Andrea Agnelli has said that Paulo Dybala has been offered a new contract, despite the fact the striker said that there is nothing on the table. Ruben Semedo, the Olympiacos defender, has been linked with a move to Liverpool. Jesse Lingard has apparently told Manchester United he needs to play more games, otherwise he'll leave the club. Ooh, I bet they're so scared. And lastly but not least, obviously some sad news from yesterday that former Liverpool manager Gerard Houllier died at the age of 73. We wish all our best and condolences to his family and friends. That's all from me then. Thanks so much for watching. Check out what we've got going on OneFootball. Leave your comments below, and until next time, I will see you guys later.